Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this short restorative yoga practice. This is part of a 3-day long new moon yoga immersion that I am putting together for everyone here on my channel. This is day 1. If you are joining for the immersion, thank you for being here. And also just know that whether or not you are watching this video during the time of the new moon, the dark moon cycle, you could practice this anytime that you just want to slow down, reset the nervous system, and start that emptying process. So props for this class are going to be a bolster and possibly a blanket. You also might, if you have any oils that you like to massage yourself with, grab a hold of that. We'll do a little bit of self-massage at the beginning of the practice. And let's see. Also, I invite you to set the tone for your practice, especially if you're doing this during the time of the new moon cycle. You might make a whole ritual out of this. Maybe you start by a ritual cleansing or treating yourself to a luxurious bath or even just showering. Maybe you build an altar if that is something that is part of your practice, as well as just setting up your area so that you're really cozy and comfortable and just make it your own. Last thing you might grab a hold of is a journal if you are a journaler, and I'll give a few things to consider at the beginning of the practice. So feel free to pause this video, grab a hold of anything that you need, create your space, your sacred space, and then also if you'd like to play some gentle, relaxing music, maybe turning some music on, and then meeting me here on the mat in a nice, comfortable seat of your choice. So, finding your seat and closing the eyes down. Take a moment to notice the ground beneath you. Feel your feet, your legs, buttocks. And notice your environment. Notice, is there a breeze in the room? Notice the temperature of the air, layers of sound vibrations around you, in your space, further away. Just start to welcome all of your senses to open wide here and just to notice the space you're in. And then start to notice your breath. Perhaps the breath already starts to deepen and lengthen with your attention alone, perhaps not. Either way, just notice the natural rhythm here of your breath and quality of your breath. And then start to lengthen out the exhale. Just a very natural lengthening, a little bit longer than your normal exhale would be. And then notice that slight pause at the bottom of the exhale. Maybe you linger here just for a moment before inhaling again. And getting curious about that pause, that moment of surrender, of suspension between exhale and inhale. Take a few more rounds, just exploring that pause. Surrender, and to trust that the next breath in will come. And then you can let that focus go, but as we practice today, you might keep exploring that moment, between exhale and inhale. You can keep your eyes closed here. Now take a moment to just consider how you've been spending your time over the past 4 weeks or so, over this past lunar cycle, from the time of the last new moon to this moment. Just let impressions naturally arise in your mind. And then take a moment to notice, what are those things that you really love to do that maybe you want to do more of during this coming lunar cycle, as well as some of those things that you've been spending your time doing that maybe you want to do less of. And if you'd like, you could take a moment to pause the video, grab your journal, and write down some of these things. Just let it be really natural, no pressure, whatever comes up. A list of things that you have been spending your time doing that maybe you want to do less of for this next cycle, as well as a list of things you love doing that you've been doing that maybe you want to invite even more in for this cycle. So if so, feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, just take another moment or two and then just let that go. And then you can start to blink your eyes open if they're still closed. And we're just gonna start with a little bit of abhyanga, which is just self-massage. It comes from Ayurveda, which is yoga's sister science. So I'm just using some essential oils in an almond oil carrier that I just made myself. So, and you also don't have to use oil if you do not have any or you do not wish to use any. So go ahead and maybe grab your oil if you're going to use some. Spray a little bit into the palm of one of your hands. And we'll all start to rub the palms together. Start to create some heat. And then once you have the hands nice and warm, warming up the oil, we're going to take a deep breath in. Bring your hands up to your face and take a deep breath in. And a long breath out through the mouth. Nice and relaxed. And another deep breath in. Long breath, calm through the mouth. Go ahead and take one more. start to take your peace fingers up to the clearing between the brows, your third eye center, mind's eye center, and just apply a little bit of pressure here. And then as it calls to you, you might start to sweep the fingers along the top of the brow, over to the temples. Maybe you circle around here. You could play with the pressure, light pressure, hard pressure, or firm pressure. Maybe sweep a few times. You could even sweep around the hairline. Maybe even underneath the eyes, around the cheekbones. Down along the ears. You could take the fingers open and just kind of rub along the base of the ears, if that feels good. Down towards the jaw, the hinges of the jaw, circling here as well with a nice firm pressure. Feel free to welcome your intuition to guide you here. Maybe you want to take it down into the shoulders or the neck. Maybe your hands would like a massage, or your feet. Just tune in to your own wisdom here and start to rub joints and any places of tension. Relax. Just start shedding, releasing tension, mental tension, muscular tension. Calm breath, calm mind, emptying out, slowing down, mirroring the cycles of the moon, of nature, cyclically checking in with ourselves. All right, and then you could always pause this video and continue longer if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and release, and we'll begin with some gentle head and neck movement. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's actually roll the shoulders a few times. Inhale forward and up. Exhale back and down with the breath moving. And back and up with the inhale, forward and down with the exhale a few times. And releasing. We can inhale, drop one ear towards one shoulder, and then slowly start to take the chin towards the chest, circling all the way around, syncing up your breath with your circles. If this feels too intense, you can imagine there's a pencil on your nose and a paper in front of your nose, and you're just drawing circles on this paper with your nose. Hopefully you're starting to circle the opposite direction. If not, go ahead and take at least a few circles in the opposite direction. If you're taking full head circles, you can even let the spine mirror movement, the head and the neck. So just kind of exaggerating the movement a little bit more if that feels good to you. eventually go ahead and just release that. We will hold a deeper neck stretch for a few rounds of breath. Let's go ahead and take our left forearm to the small of the back, to the low back, and then maybe you can clasp onto your bicep, your right bicep, or you can even grab a little lower if that feels more accessible to you. And then sit up nice and tall. Deep breath in, lifting through the crown. Exhale, dropping right ear towards right shoulder. And then just take a few moments to play with the positioning of the head. Maybe you drop the chin and you find a point of tension, and then you can breathe into that point of tension. Maybe you lift the head and you find that point of tension. So just explore till you find your sweet spot. And then take 4 calm, deep breaths in and out. And again, let's become curious about that point of surrender, of suspension in emptiness, and in trust of the nourishing breath that will come. I'm just exploring the bottom of your exhale. Relax the face, relax the jaw, relax the legs. Lingering at the bottom of the exhale. As you're ready to breathe in again, slowly release the left arm, lift the crown. Take a moment to just observe left side, right side. When you're ready, we'll swim the right forearm around to the low back. Grab hold of your left arm somewhere that feels comfortable. Sit up nice and tall. Deep breath in, left ear towards left shoulder on the exhale. Again, first begin just by playing with the positioning of the head slowly. Maybe drawing the chin down more or lifting it up a bit until you find your sweet spot. And start to breathe calm, slow, deep. Lingering at the bottom of the exhale, becoming curious of that point, that part of the cycle of the breath, like that, this point in the cycle of the moon, a new moon. It's mirroring this point, this pause between exhale and inhale. Ready to inhale next, releasing the arm, gently lifting the crown, slowly pausing here, a deep breath in and exhale, chin towards the chest. Take a few rounds of breath here, just relaxing the head. Keep the chest lifted. And then inhale to lift the crown, and we'll make our way onto all fours. And we'll begin some rounds of cat and cow. Just going to move the spine a little bit before we come into our holds, or supported holds. Maybe you pat underneath the knees, maybe not. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. And then start to move with the breath, inhaling, drop the belly, lift the crown, lift the tail. Belly is soft. You could even bend the elbows here to exaggerate that curve in the upper back even more, if that feels good to you. And then exhale, press into the hands, press into the feet, round the spine, chin towards the chest. Moving with your breath, few rounds. You can close the eyes once you have the movement down. If you feel like veering off the train track a little, you could, maybe bumping the hips side to side, finding a little side body opening with the breath. Take 2 more rounds of breath, whatever movement you may still be doing. And then bring the big toes to touch. Walk the knees wide. The hands can come forward a hand's length. And then start to sit the hips back towards the heels, and then circle around and through your extended child's pose, and back and around. Big hip circles here with the breath. Exhaling back and around, inhaling forward and around. Reversing the direction if you haven't already. Then sitting back into your extended child's pose. Inhale through center. Exhale, walk the palms off the left side of your mat. Find a lateral stretch here, breathing into the right side body. Maybe stacking right hand on top of left. You could also take your right fist with your elbow bent and support the head like with your right fist. Take 1 more round of breath here. On an inhale, walk through center. Exhale to walk the palms off the right side of your mat. Again, you could bend the left elbow, make a fist with the left hand and rest your head down. A little more support. Or stack the left hand on top of the right, and then everybody breathe into the left side body deeply. Inhale, walk through center, and then we'll press ourselves up, grab a hold of our bolster, maybe the blanket as well. I'll give some options. We're gonna take the bolster the long way on the mat, in the center of the mat. We'll we're coming into a supported child's pose. You can bring the bolster right between your legs. Big toes are still touching, knees are still wide. If this feels like a bit much, you could stick a blanket between your heels and your bottom, and that will help with the pressure in the knees as well as if you have any trouble dropping the sit bones down to the heels. So that's an option. We're just gonna sit up nice and tall and then start to walk the hands on either side of the bolster, and then rest your belly, your heart, your head down on your bolster in a supported child's pose. And some people enjoy sometimes to take my hands underneath the bolster and kind of hold and hug the bolster, lift my head a little bit. You can turn your head to one side and I'll let you know halfway through, and we'll turn our head to the other side. And we are holding these a bit shorter than we normally would in a full-length class to just try to, because it's a mini practice, so we're keeping it mini. You're always welcome to pause the video and stay longer if you'd like. So settle in, release the weight of the body, relax the muscles in the face. Relax the groin, the perineum. Relax your jaw, your shoulders, your belly. Feel the tops of your feet and your shins and your knees, all connected to the earth beneath you. Notice the support of the earth end of your bolster. And just let go here. Start to welcome back that curiosity of the pause between exhalation and inhalation. So the inhalation is like the waxing moon, building. The top of the inhalation is like the full moon, full capacity, full illumination. As we exhale, we mirror the waning moon, this natural, effortless letting go process. And then at the bottom of the exhale, that point before the next inhalation is like the dark moon phase or the new moon phase. This point of potential, of what is to come, this point of surrender, and this trust that comes along with that surrender, just knowing that the next breath, the next thing, the next step, it will naturally arise. So just contemplating that, perhaps, as well as just literally lingering there at the bottom of the exhale and noticing what comes up for you. Let's go ahead and turn our head towards the other side, the second half of this hold. And then lingering at the bottom of the exhales. Taking 3 more rounds of breath. Breathing into the back of the lungs here. And really nice and slowly press yourself all the way up. You're going to come to sit on our right hip, lining the right hip up along the short side of your bolster, and taking your legs to similar positioning to deer pose. So that's the right leg will be externally rotated and the left leg will be internally rotated. You could keep this blanket handy just in case. Take the right hand to the outside of the bolster and then find a nice tall spine. Inhale, take your left arm, sweep it open and start to twist in the spine. Left hand is in line with the left shoulder, just twisting as far as feels easeful. And then exhale, sweep the hand all the way over to the right, twisting, twisting, twisting. Again, as far as feels easeful. And then we'll exhale, plant the left hand on the opposite side of the bolster. Start to walk your belly, your chest down. We really want to get the chest, the rib cage, and the chest lying down on the bolster. And then you can turn your head towards the knees. Find a positioning for your arms that feels comfortable. And if this feels like too much to keep the legs like this, you might take a blanket between the legs and stack the legs. So notice what feels nourishing to you in this moment. And then close the eyes down. Release the weight of the body. Relax the face, the jaw, the belly, whole lower body. And then lengthening out the exhales, lingering at the bottom of the exhales, being curious of this part of the cycle. What comes up for you when you contemplate this, consider this, and how it mirrors these qualities, how these qualities are mirrored in your own experience, inner and outer. Just letting go, emptying out. Allowing yourself to be suspended momentarily in this empty void of potential, of all that is still to be born through you, expressed through you. Just let yourself be here now. Trusting that just as the moon will grow full in her illumination, just as the inhalation will return, so too will the next step and each of our own unique paths be revealed. It might just be that very next step. Often it is. But there's a trust that after that next step, and then the next, will always be revealed to us, through us, arise within us. And with this trust, with this surrender, we can find a little bit more ease maybe in the unknown, in those mysterious moments when we don't know what's coming next. Maybe we don't know what to do next. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. You could always pause this video and stay longer, otherwise slowly press yourself up. You can keep the eyes closed, just turn to face the left, bringing the left hip in line with your bolster. Legs are in that deer pose position. Moving slowly, I'm just switching sides. Left hand's gonna come to the outside of the bolster. Find a nice, tall, long spine. A big breath in as you sweep your right arm all the way open, twisting as far as feels easeful. Exhale, twist and sweep left. And then we'll plant the right hand, big breath in. Exhale, start to walk over your bolster, so your rib cage, your heart come to rest on the bolster. Turn your head towards your knees. Feel free to take a blanket between the legs and stack the legs if that feels more relaxing, more supportive. And then once again, surrender the weight of the body here. Let the earth and your props totally support the weight of your body. You don't need to hold on, just let go here. Welcome back. The exploration of pause between exhalation and inhalation. A point of potential, of surrender, of trust. Relax your whole face. Release any lingering expression here. bottom of the exhales. Letting go. Resting deeply in the unknown. And taking 3 more rounds of breath. Again, pause this video if you wish to stay longer. It's always welcome. Slowly press yourself up. We'll be heading to Savasana. You might take your bolster beneath the knees to support your back. Maybe you cover up with your spare blanket or use it as a pillow. Coming to lie down on your back. Lift your heart, draw the shoulder blades together and away from the ears, and then lie back down. Maybe palms facing the sky for this Savasana, this relaxation. Again, as a gesture of that surrender, that trust in these cycles of nature and human psyche and psycho-spiritual experience. Close the eyes down. Let go. Surrender to stillness. Rest in this quiet void, this void of potential, of what's still to come. We don't even know, we can't even imagine. This trusting of natural unfoldment of our innately born gifts and of our thriving potential. It's just waiting here, ready. It doesn't have to be forced. Just little bit of time and attention and intention goes a long way in supporting this natural unfolding process. Take a moment to draw your attention to the tip of the nose. Start to feel the breath as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. In and out. Resting here. You're more than welcome to pause this video and rest here as long as you would like. For today's practice, we are going to go ahead and start to welcome and sense the space you're in once again, your environment. Slowly start to deepen the breath. Maybe you take a deep breath in through the nose and an audible sigh out through the mouth. Start to find an inward smile, a sense of contentment, gratitude. And then inviting in small gestures into fingers, toes. Maybe rubbing the tips of the fingers slowly, small circles, turning head to side, side to side, stretching, hugging the knees towards the chest or coming into a fetal position. Welcome yourself back. Notice how you feel. Notice the effects of your practice and kind of start to just relish in any of that quietness, that stillness, centeredness, peacefulness that you've connected to within yourself, these qualities. And then when you're ready, we'll meet in a nice tall seat to close our practice for the day. Once you're in your tall seat, we'll bring the palms together. Take a deep breath in. Lift your heart to your hands. Exhale, bowing in gratitude. Gratitude for yourself for this time, for this beautiful, mysterious web and tapestry that we are weaved into, these patterns in nature, in our own experiences. Just how awesome. And giving thanks for these practices, these techniques that, and the many hands that have brought them to us today. All right, thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like or share with somebody who you think might enjoy this new moon practice. Day 2 is tomorrow. I'll be guiding a Yoga Nidra practice. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again tomorrow. Namaste.